am Toya, and this is the Blue Lighthouse Mantle. Did nobody tell you to come over here, Papa? No, you're not getting on the camera. Everybody wants to be a star. This is about a dream I had. 11:53 a.m. The date I'm not sure. It's between July 5th and July 8th, 2024. And the writing is sloppy, so I'm assuming I was waking up out of my sleep and wrote this down. I was seeing a fair-skinned male with 2 children. He moved around like a criminal, but he was talking to a young woman, and he said something that made her question her being, her parents, her child. So she went to her mother figure, and as the young lady was talking to her mom, reached into a bag, and I can see in the bag she was fumbling around with some crystals. I saw a bunch of amethyst, but one turquoise and one amazonite. Amazonite? You know what I'm saying. I don't know if she picked up either of these or something I couldn't see, but the scene jumped to 2 ladies in a cab, Uber or Lyft, and there was a lot of stuff hanging from the car. I go back to the fair-skinned male who got a call or a signal, and he told the children to go, and they started running towards a boat in the water to get away. In the next scene, someone said something to the father, which is the fair-skinned male. He goes into a makeshift closet, and while he was in there, you could see the door move as if it were breathing. Then he comes out with this rifle gun, and he points it in my way. Everyone knew something except the young man, and I woke up. I don't even remember this dream, so I read it a couple of times, and the only part that I can remember is he said to go, and then the kids ran to the boat. And you know how the boat is not really close to the land, but sitting out, and they had to run in the water and then swim to the boat. I remember, that's the only part that I remember. This is from 6:58 p.m. 7/7/24. I am unsure why it is that the Spirit is having me to go back to these, but I believe it's relevant to something that's happening right now. When closing my eyes during meditation, I saw a huge light moving back and forth like a searchlight or lighthouse. So apparently I burned dragon's blood, incense, Palo Santo stick, and a cinnamon stick. I started to see my favorite tree that I always see with the roots that extend far out from the trunk and is above ground. So you know how the roots sit up out of the ground and they're not flush with the earth? I gave the tree a hug, then sat down close to the trunk, but between some of the roots. So the roots were just that huge that I can sit in between them. I never did this before, but I started laying down some ground rules and boundaries. Um, I said that I needed clarity and I needed accuracy. Then I started seeing all of these people coming up to me, forming a line that wrapped around the tree. It reminded me of the movie Airplane when the people were lining up to have their turn to get a lick at the hysterical person. And one by one, each person sat down inside of me. So they were in front of me, and then each person came, and it's like they came and sat inside of me to have a conversation with me. That's deep. That's deep. Hmm. So, and one by one, each person sat down inside of me as if they were me. And at the very last person was a feminine figure that walked towards me, switching very flavorfully. I used the word flavorfully. And I chuckled, but something told me to ask who she was and how was she related, or how. So apparently all the ones that were before me were all ancestors. And this one was not, but she was trying to come in as if she was. Hmm. Asked how was she related, or how did I know her? She did not say anything. So I asked these angels that had swords move her out of the way, and she was kicking and screaming. Then I asked if there were any more spirits that snuck by the angels that wanted to do the opposite of what I was here to do. Were any more spirits that snuck by the angels that wanted to do the opposite of what I was here to do, or were there for their own not so good reason? They should have now, they should leave now. They should leave now, and it was a handful of them that removed themselves. I guess I woke up after that. This says 8:05 p.m. 7/7/24, which is a Sunday. I'm not sure why I got 12 years old on the side, but I guess it will come to me as I'm reading. I generally ask if there was anyone who wanted to speak first, and there was a young woman, teenager, Nicole, I guess she was 12 years old, who said she was poisoned by her mother. She kept stating that she wanted to go home, but when I asked where that was, she said she did not know. I asked where was her mother, and she said that she was there with her. Her name is Sharon. Nicole said, so Nicole is 12-year-old and Sharon is the mother. Nicole said she, which is her mom, killed her, then killed herself. She said they did not have a car, and they rode the bus to a Wally's store. Wally? Wally? What? I mean, Walmart? I don't recall the Wally's, but she does not speak Spanish. The people around her don't look like her or her mother. I think I remember, because she was a little black girl. Her mom was black. if this is the same one, I could see a streak. It's like one of those streets in New York where there was brownstones on either side, and I remember seeing headlights coming towards me. If this is the same dream. She does not speak Spanish. The people around her don't look like her or her mother. Her mom would not let her go to school. Said her mom acted strong, but she knew she was scared. They were hiding out. Lots of cars, but not a lot of trees on the block. I could see what looked like row houses. Okay, so row houses and brownstones are different, right? I mean, are they like the same because they're all attached? And row houses are mainly found in Pennsylvania? I don't know. I don't know. Row houses at night, and a car was coming towards me. Yeah, this is the same dream. Where I was focused on the headlights, but I could not see the kind of car. Then I heard that someone killed both of them and made it look like the mom did it. Wow. So the girl thought that her mom killed her. But it was somebody else. So maybe they were telling people that the mom killed her. And that's why the mom was scared. Because she knew people were after her. She kept saying, I want to go home. So I said, you trust me? She did not at first, but I showed her the people at the large light. I remember this. I remember this. But I showed her the people at the large light. But there was another door with a not so bright light. And there were people there as well. I only could walk with her so far, and she had to make the choice. As she went towards the brighter light and the door shifted to another door, I said a prayer for them and said how grateful I was for the opportunity. Then my third eye started feeling like it is being squeezed, so I stopped at 8:24 p.m. So this was not a dream, this is in meditation. But I do remember that. And it sat with me because I knew that the two lights, the one that was the brightest was not the right way to go. But she had to make a choice. The not so bright light was for her to go where her soul naturally was supposed to go. The not so bright, but the brighter light was to trick her to come back here. I remember that. I remember seeing all the people. I did. And I could not make the choice for her. She was only 12. I understand about contracts, and some have contracts to come and not to live long lives. I understand that. But it doesn't mean that I don't feel it. Let's move on. So Friday, 12:39 a.m., 7/12/24. I am thinking back to 8:30ish this evening. I heard a lawnmower close to my home and didn't pay attention to it at first. Then something said, "Go and look out the window," and this Caucasian male was mowing my neighbor's lawn, which was very odd because he had just did it the day before yesterday, after I had mine done. Then he kept going back and forth over the same spot, which was by my meditation room. His lawnmower sounded like it was not getting gas to it. Like it was going to go out. It's getting dark. Does anyone else feel like that was strange? Just asking for a friend. So, I guess that was a stalker. And someone trying to hear my prayers and whatever I was doing in my prayer room at the time. What I am looking for, I got a lot of books to go through. I am looking for meditation that I had done where I was visited by a young lady So I remember there was two, but one is the one that I kept interacting with. And she told me that the other had come back to Earth, so she was reincarnated. And I can't remember their names, Jane and something else. I don't remember what the other one's name was, because I wasn't talking to her. I just felt her essence, maybe that's what it was, I don't know. But Jane had spoken to me about where she was. So it was this house that was in this woods, and from where we were when I was talking to Jane, there was a little stream or a brook that had these rocks. It was steady flowing, but when you turned and looked up at the house, it kind of sat up, and it was like these, you know how they have in front of some houses where it's enclosed, but people can sit in there, and it's screened off. So it was like that. You go in there before you actually go in the house. But it was these tall trees. kind of reminds me of the same area where I had my one of my past life regression sessions where I went or remembered. But anyway, talking to Jane, I was asking her, what happened to them. And I can't remember which one of them died first. And it might have been the other one who wasn't there. And Jane had held on as long as she could. But there was a man, and he was doing something to them. I kind of got the feeling like they were breeders, or either they were products of breeders. You know what I mean? Where women just have children with this certain guy or certain people just so they can sacrifice the children. And they were the children of those certain circumstances, and possibly were going to be breeders, but end up being unalived. I don't remember everything, that's why I gotta find it. But somehow out of that, we got that the man was on the verge of being caught, and he fled to the UK. And I heard Yorkshire, and I looked it up, and there is a Yorkshire. And what's funny, on Ancestry.com, there's a woman who contacted me. She is of Caucasian descent, and she's from Yorkshire. So my thought is this a reincarnation? Is she a reincarnation of one of those women? Is this woman a child of the man who fled? I don't really know. But it made me think about a lot of different things. And I just want to solve it and figure out what's going on, because I thought it was very strange. Because apparently she is akin in some way. You know how they used to say Master was tipping in somebody's... Yeah. So I gotta find that one. Maybe I'll try to go back and see if I can get back into it, because I gotta remember their names. I do remember Jane. Real common names. But the other one I can't remember. Anyway, I was just thinking that, is that person who fled, I mean, it was probably from the UK, came here fucking up shit, and then fled back because he thought he was gonna get caught. Is he someone that has done something in my life? Hmm. I don't know. Let's keep going. Random. Here we go. 417 hertz clears past traumatic experiences, gets rid of negative energy in the body, balances and heals the sacral chakra. 528 hertz heals and balances the solar plexus chakra, helps reduce stress on the endocrine and autonomic nervous system, rids tension, anxiety, reduces mood disturbances. 396 hertz helps clear mind in conscious and subconscious fears, worries, and anxiety by bringing down defense mechanisms in the brain, balances root chakra and blockages, guilt, feelings, and negative thoughts, addictions. Listen to them daily. Apparently, I had been listening to those November 23rd of 23. December 17th, 2023. I am going to say some names. And at the bottom it says, I'm not sure why these names came to me. Keena, Jacqueline, Bridget, Shanada, Michelle, and Cynthia. May 19th, 2024. This is a dream. I ordered a bottle of wine online and the confirmation number was on a credit card that had someone else's information on it. I asked the lady to go and get it, but she claimed she couldn't because the card's information was incorrect. Someone had an apartment in their name at one place, but lived somewhere else. (5:30:24). There was a woman in the house. She acted as if she was going to leave, but she turned around and sat back down. She would never leave the house. I could see her pulling a cover off of the bed, and there was writing on the sheets which said forever all over the sheets that she slept on. And I remember thinking that that was a spell that someone had put on her sheets to keep her there. In meditation, I traveled into someone's room and looked at this table, and I could see the computer screen, but I can't remember what I saw or read on the screen. In this dream, I could see myself looking at pictures of people I went to high school with, and I gasped because I could remember when this fight happened. And I asked my mother in the dream if she remembered the fight, but my alarm went off and I woke up. That was May 31st, 2024. A fight? June 2nd, 2024, 2:11 a.m. Dreamed that I was building a structure of something inside of a hospital for children. There were two people who helped me the most and acted out of character because things were not done to specifications. They did get things right in the end. I told the male helper that we would meet and have X. Then I told the female on a Wednesday that I would have X with her. I woke up to some clinging noises. This is someone's attempt to use X magic in my dreams. So I noticed it and obviously it was blocked. That was June 1st, 2024. There was a young woman who was fair skinned. She had her hair up. She came into the shop. She walked, oh, this is what actually happened. She looked around quickly, came over by me. Then when she was asked what was she looking for, she said nothing and left. I got this gut feeling that she came in there specifically looking for me, just to see what I am doing or to start some sugar honey iced tea. 2:44 a.m. I guess that's on the second. Someone had a huge mirror like those in a lighthouse and they were sending signals with it, but not for ships. Were they trafficking children? Adults? Dream that someone came and offered me $3 million. June 4th, 2024. I had a dream that someone came and offered me $3 million, but in my head I was thinking they owe me so much more than that. There was some type of a facility in a house. When you walk in the door, there were these phone booths on each side of the wall. People go in them, get information and downloads. It took some huge cutters and I took some huge cutters and started to cut these vines in front of the door. It was really overgrown and almost covered the door. There was a discussion about one of the men who was not getting things correct. They could not grasp what was given out in the informant booths. So he had to stay longer and tell him important things when he got out of the booth. As I was reading that, what came to mind was the person that's in my life who does not want to let go. But he has to, because I'm in a place that he is not. He's not ready. So he has to stay and get the information again in a way that he can understand it. Doesn't mean that he won't ever get to where I'm going or I am at this moment, because we're constantly growing, or supposed to be. He will get it eventually. June 7th, 2024, I dreamed that there were different people and things that were used to solve crimes, but I can't remember what they were in the natural. The only thing I do remember is that all the same things were happening in different timelines, because my group of people were discussing what we use with ourselves in the other timelines. I don't even remember that, but that's deep. Hmm. I'm not gonna read that. June 11th, 2024. I dreamed I was dancing with an older man that was my height, thinner, in a house with a lot of money all around. There were some bundles I believe I was trying to sell, or maybe they were for me. I sat the bundles down to dance with the older man. We danced pretty smoothly together. Then the hair was gone, so it was bundles of hair. Then the hair was gone. I did not see it again. Then I got it back, but was looking for something to put it in. Then this guy, trying to be funny, pulled out a piece of tape. I could see everything in the kitchen. That's with an asterisk. I don't know what that means. In this dream, I was around a group of people and I needed something for a headache. I got this very small pill from someone, and another person came along and said, "Let me see what you got." Then mixed it up with a bunch of other pills. I asked for it back. He took it. He took them out of his pocket and told me to find it. People in the background whispering that she won't be able to find it. So I took it out of my phone for the so I took out of my phone for the pill identifier app and found the one I needed. I was thinking in my head that they just wanted my hands to touch all of the pills. Then I opened up a window and someone got out. Silkscreen material in a square frame on a stick or pole. I said it was like the fans they used to have back in the day. I could hear someone in the background say, "They are going to use this." As I am about to leave, a man came up to me and hands me a card and says, "This is the person. He is engaged to. Maybe you can get some help." But I felt as if both people were scabs. So either someone is going to, or someone was attempting to come and try to trick me with something that I needed and wanted me to self-sabotage by making the wrong decision. but I had a tool that helped me to make the right decision. I will always make the right decision. Didn't in the past, but now I always make the right decision. Because you know why? I listen to the Most High and all my spiritual team. Because they love me. If nobody else on this earth ever loved me, I know they do, and they always have. Because they never left me. Even when I didn't know about them. Even when I didn't know they existed. Even when a time where I was taught that it was evil to have a relationship with my ancestors, they were still there, waiting on me. And I am grateful for that. I'm grateful for that. I love you too. You know, I'm going to say this. Because people don't know, I'm not going to say they don't know. There are many people who know what having a relationship with your ancestors and the Most High can do for you. And because they know that, that is why they're telling you that it's evil and that it's wrong and it's witchcraft and whatever else they want to say. But it's not. They use that every day. They do the same thing. Mount Rushmore, the statues of all these presidents, having people's names and plaques on buildings, on benches. All of those things are ancestor altars. Shift your perspective, perception. I don't know why I get those mixed up. Shift how you think about things. Every time you constantly acknowledge certain statues, people paying money, that is a spiritual exchange with someone to see those specific things. They are honoring that particular ancestor for whoever is akin to them. You understand what I'm saying? And you, I don't care how small it is, just light a candle and say thank you for all those who walked this earth before you. All those whose blood, sweat, and tears created things here. And you have their blood inside of you. Just say thank you. Even if you don't have all those things. Trust me. For those who will, I'm not forcing anyone to do anything. I know what it's done for me. I know the protection that I have. Even if you don't have those things, just remembering your grandmama. If you can just remember her name, that is that's helpful. Now, I'm not saying that you gotta acknowledge all the ones who might have done something to you, who were doing not so nice things to other people. I'm not saying that. Those loving ones that you remember that did good things that helped people, you will get back to the other ones later. The ones who loved you and you loved them, just acknowledge them. If they cooked a certain dish, cook that certain dish. If they liked a certain sweet, go buy you some and eat it in honor of them. Remember, you have their blood inside of you. So, in the spiritual realm, they are getting that essence of whatever it is that you're doing. I know things are much more complicated than that, but that's what we're going to stick with today. So you're going to understand how it's not scary, it's not woo woo woo, it's not none of that. It's not abracadabra. People have done it for blings. They do it, you see it all on TV now. Everyone's doing it now because they know how important it is. Do not forsake them because they have not forsaken you. Those random thoughts that come in your head that give you, that help you out, that's them in the Most High. And I'm going to say this. From what I've learned, I can't speak for anybody else. You have all these angels or what have you, and they are on point. I am not going to lie about that. They are on point. But your ancestors, it's many levels, and they are very close to the Most High. They work directly with them. Them, she, her, however you want to do it. But most people know Most High as being male. We will talk about that at another time. And I might say it that way because I want to get to anyone, not just a certain few, like religious people do. They just want to get to the certain people and force them to do what they do. That's not who I am. You either accept it or you don't. I'm just telling you what worked for me. Look at my life. You see where I was. You see all I went through. And you see where I am now. And I'm constantly moving. Let that be an example for you as to who I'm claiming. Now, I will say this. I know I've gotten off subject because I don't remember what I was talking about. I will say that every angel is not good, and every demon is not bad. Do your research. Please. Don't just hear what I say. Do your research. And don't think that because you are researching something that someone told you was evil, it's evil. You are gaining knowledge so that you will know them for yourself. It's also a form of protection. Because how are you going to protect yourself from something or someone's if you don't even know that they exist? You've been told, don't worry about that, or that's not real, or that doesn't exist. Just because you don't believe something exists doesn't mean that it's not existing. You know? Don't take things that people say face value. Please research. There's so much information out there. And I'm not just talking about Google, TikTok. Even though TikTok has some very good information, I must say. Even that, take that, write it down, and go to a library. Go to a bookstore. You can sit there and read the books and not even buy it. You know? There's many ways to get information. And get the information before this government tries to stop you from even learning anything. Please. This is random also. If you can afford to get a generator, get a generator. If you are in a place where you can store rainwater, store rainwater. I don't know where that's coming from, but for the last 2 days I've gotten it. If you can grow a couple of vegetables in your home, do it. I know. This one is for me as well. Please try to stop eating meat. Go to just fish. Sometimes we gotta be careful with the fish. But if you can, I love me some beef bacon. But try to stop eating meat. It's important. And red meat is like one of those things that causes kidney failure. Look it up. There's very good information out there. Buy gold, even if it's just gold coins. Someone's trying to tell me something, but I can't. I think they're too far away. I keep hearing a word, but can you make it clear for me? I don't know what this got to do with anything, but I'm seeing. I know this is just a movie. Well, I'm not gonna say movies are just movies, because art resembles life. But I'm seeing, like the Star Wars, it's like these flashes of light. It's like a gun that has flashes of light. I'm saying that. Is that fighting going on? I don't know what that was, but it just brought me back to something I was going to say. People are going to, those who are able to see, feel, taste, hear, just know things, those players, people are going to try to discredit you. I know. They are going to take the things that you say, twist it, and do whatever they need to do in order to get you locked up in a mental institution or get thrown in prison. They're going to do a lot of different things. They're going to try. But I'm saying today, and it is Tuesday, June 24th, 2025 at 4:51 p.m. There's going to be new laws that's going to change all of that. I don't know how. I don't know when. But it's coming. I may not even see it. I'm going to be a part of it. But I may not see it come to its fruition. I don't know. But I know something I am saying, something I am doing or going to do is going to be a part of that movement. Hold the line for all the trailblazers. Hold the line. It's not easy. I can't see how anyone wants to be just like somebody else. That always floored me. Because you don't know what the freak people have to go through to be who they are. You think this life is easy? Look at all the stuff you're doing to try to be like that person. And they take it with ease. So you think it's not easy. That's hard, having to battle all those things and still remain. That's not easy. You wouldn't last 2 seconds in my shoes. Don't try to be like somebody else. Of course, there's nothing wrong with getting inspiration from somebody and making it something of your own, with your own hot sauce. You know what I'm saying? Your own flavor. Don't try to be exactly like somebody else. That's absolutely ludicrous. It's ludicrous. Trying to be like somebody else will give you one of those pretty little jackets that help you to hug and love on yourself all day long. You know what I'm saying? With the nice little buckles on it and stuff. Don't do that. I was just like, girl, shut up. I'm serious. To whoever said it, you know what jacket I'm talking about. They usually just come in one color. But you never know. They might come in different colors. Breathable. I'm hot. I'm hot. Ooh, I had fun today. I went and frolicked in the rain. That was really nice. My grandpa looked at me like I was crazy, but hey, he was out there trying to shake the water. But it was so lovely, that rain. It was cool and it was falling on you. It's such cleansing. I don't know, it was beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Cleansing the earth, or at least our little part of the earth. I used to think as a child that when it rained all over the earth, but I know now that that's not true. Because it can rain right here, and then just a block two down the road, it's not even raining there. I'm so grateful. I'm grateful to be here for such a time as this. I am grateful to, I don't really like to use the word chosen. I mean, because everyone could have the opportunity to do what it is that I do. It's just that to whom much is given, much is required. There are some people who have the same talents, gifts, or whatever, but they don't want to do the real work in order to build those things up. Even I sometimes be like, I don't want to do that today. But that's why I say it's not easy. To whom much is given, much is required. Blood, sweat, and tears. I've seen many people who were going through their stuff and just stopped. Some people just said no. Which is your choice? You have, that's tricky too. The saying is you have free will. But do you really? Because if you don't, what are the consequences that happens from you not choosing to do what you were asked to do? Because the Most High is all-knowing. You know the beginning from the end. You know what's going to happen through your whole cycle, right? So he knows what your particular purpose is for the all. The all. And if you don't do it, that messes up things. It shifts things. Yes, of course, he will find someone else to take over, to do what you were supposed to do. But sometimes in this realm, the spiritual world waits generations and generations for somebody like you to come along and do your part that will shift and change things for the all. Okay? And just imagine all of those people whose blood is inside of you, rooting you on, saving you from stuff, helping you with things, and then you say no? Yeah, like I said, you don't have to. But I know some of the things that I've gone through was not even my stuff to go through. You're healing generational things. That means those that were here hundreds, thousands of years ago, if it wasn't healed, you are healing it by the things you're going through, by the things you suffer through and still make it. You know what I'm saying? It's not easy, but it is so worth it. There was this movie, I might have talked about this before, called The Portable, the Portable Door. Portable Door. And I'm not gonna cry. In the movie, towards the end, when the guy has to go do a certain task, there's a whole line of people just clapping and encouraging him to go and do this particular thing. And that reminds me of the things you go through in the healing journey. There are so many who have the same gifts and talents as you, but they were beaten to not use them. They were murdered, if you know what I mean, to keep them from using it. And some of them were tortured to keep them from using it. Not that they were doing anything bad. It's just that those others did not want them to use it on them. So they forced them not to do it or use it. When it's really to help the all. Some things you just use for yourself to better you, to make you better and do better and have strength to keep going. But they didn't want that. That time is up. The gig is up. The time has come for everyone who is able to not be afraid. It's time. This is not something we just looked in a book and got. This was hand-picked, passed down from generation to generation to generation. It's in the blood. And that's why they are snatching people. That's why they are unaliving people for that blood, so that they can survive. Enough is enough. They are tired. I'm tired. I can't imagine what my ancestors are feeling. Well, can't a little bit, because I feel it. But I can't imagine what they were thinking and feeling at the time where they were told that they was going to get their ass beat if they didn't stop. Some of them even went as far as making pacts to never use it again. And that was passed down generations after that. And people said that it was bad to do it, or that it was evil to do it because of what would happen. They were afraid. Time to stop being afraid. Everything that the Most High left and gave us was for a purpose. It's time that we remembered what we need to do and what we need to do it for. And to all of you who are listening, who are my ops, you know your time is up. Even if I didn't say anything, it's just happening. You feel the shift, you know. That's why you're doing everything you can. You're trying to take everyone down who knows something, who are loose ends. You know, you're trying to do what you can to avoid the inevitable. The light is shining on all the things you did in the back, in the dark. Yeah, probably in the back as well. I enjoy it. I win. And this is the Blue Lighthouse Mantle. Blue. What does the color blue mean? Lighthouse. What does a lighthouse do? Mantle. What does it mean to have a mantle? Lighthouse.